Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Sanya, and today we're going to talk about something that is quite relevant in our times, unfortunately. But it has always been a part of every generation since we've had men in this world and since we've had women in this world. So, this video will be structured. First thing we will be addressing is why do men cheat? Second, who are the women that they cheat on? And lastly, how can we avoid being cheated on? When? So the first thing why men cheat are because men are naturally attracted to women who are more vulnerable, who need them, who can praise them for their efforts. And whilst they are attracted to women that are independent, and usually they are, because a woman that takes care of herself, independent when it comes to finance, has the mental strength, is able to take care of herself, is highly self-reliant, is very alluring, very attractive to men. Because when a woman doesn't need a man, in the beginning at least, he's really attracted to her because it's kind of like a chase. It's this hunt that is in a man's DNA, because men are natural hunters. They hunt and they bring food, they protect their women, they provide for the family, etc. And when a woman is kind of capable of doing all that by herself, he will be attracted to her until he starts getting triggered by that, until he starts feeling emasculated by the same woman that he fell for, and for the same things that he said he liked her for. In this video, I would be sharing a few stories which I hope would help you understand if you have been cheated on, or if you have just recently been betrayed, or if you're just curious and you want to understand, so you hopefully save yourself. So when women are more powerful than men in terms of physical strength, in terms of status, in terms of finance, and in terms of even education, career, etc. In the beginning, he might find that really fascinating. It might even be the reason why he comes and talks to you, why he even approaches you, He will be into that. But over time, when he starts feeling like you don't need him, like he probably needs you, there is a certain imbalance that starts to develop. And this starts to make him feel lesser than. A man starts to feel small. Because a man can't help but feel the need to dominate, feel the need to feel really masculine. So really, it's for the man to feel like a man. So if a woman is doing a man's job, which is leading the relationship, making more decisions, making decisions even for him, bossing him around, unintentionally, he will just unconsciously start feeling emasculated pretty badly. And men are quite sensitive to those feelings because they do have this really huge ego. Of course, women can also have egos. Does that mean that women should not be independent? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm a strong believer that we should always go for men that deserve us, where they don't feel triggered by you because they have a lot of their own, that they've already established a very strong personality, and they won't be triggered by you. So even taking the example of Shakira, she recently got betrayed. I mean, I don't know if it's recent, but it just came to my attention recently. This incredibly beautiful woman with the voice of an angel, right? This stunning, gorgeous woman. What could be wrong with her? Well, she was really independent. When she met him, the guy she married, she was really independent, and he might have found that really attractive, because it's really attractive when a woman is self-reliant. It's really attractive when people in general are self-reliant. But over time, when the other person starts to feel like, oh, this person doesn't need me at all, they kind of just feel like, oh, I'm just kind of in the background. And let me give you an example. I have a friend who is she's in HR, and she was in this relationship with this guy he was just not of her level whatsoever, and she's a successful, hardworking woman, really, really respected by people of all ages, really, because of her role and for the woman that she is. She would gift him expensive things, expensive shoes and stuff like that, and he just kind of left. And then she found out that he was cheating on her. It was not surprising to me at all, because I understood that it was kind of inevitable. If you see the way the relationship was, there was a huge imbalance. Now, the women that they cheat on are usually women that they perceive as a threat, women that they think they don't deserve. And either you're prettier than him by a lot, you are richer than him, you have more friends, just better status, better everything. He can't have that. And you might be thinking, oh, shouldn't he be grateful? Shouldn't he be proud? He will be proud. He might even flex about you. But in his heart, he's thinking, oh, I'm not good enough. He'll be competing with you. There is an imbalance. And if you notice, the people that they cheat with are usually younger women, younger girls. Why younger? Because girls who are younger are obviously more vulnerable. They don't know as much as a mature woman who has seen the world, who is wise, who is aware, who is hard to manipulate, who won't be easily impressed because she has seen everything. And they will always prefer, at least most of the time, a younger girl. And just someone who can kind of like give them the status of a hero, who can kind of give them this really honorable, respectable position, because someone his age is obviously gonna be like, oh, that's pretty bare minimum, whatever you're doing. But a girl younger would appreciate anything he does and would find him far more attractive. So he would not be threatened by her. In fact, he would be, feeling more powerful, so he would find her more attractive. Especially if he's cheating on a very strong woman. That's his way of feeling powerful. That's his way of creating a balance there. Now, why do men feel triggered by these women? It's simply because, they know how the world sees them. And in their head, how they see the world seeing them. The world might not even care at all. They might just think, wow, that's good for you. That's a really good woman you have there. But in his head, he might step outside, standing next to her. He might be thinking, does everyone know that I'm not as successful as her? Is everyone looking at me because she's better looking than me? Are they this, that, because she's more popular, etc.? So it just kills the man inside. And it's not your fault. It's not your fault. All men, it's not your fault when a man cheats on you. It just means he's not good enough and he doesn't deserve you. Now, the question is, how can we save ourselves from being betrayed? So there is no real way. Of course, we can kind of notice these patterns of behavior and kind of understand before anything happened. All of these are red flags. Like, for example, him being jealous, not feeling, not feeling very happy for you. Those are all red flags, yes. But how do you save yourself? You can be a very strong, independent woman, okay? You can be a very strong, independent woman. You have to be. In this world, there's no other way. In our time especially, you can't be a weak person. Oh, I need you to do everything for me. No one finds that attractive. That is not the point of this video. I would never say anything like that. I think there is a balance. I think there are a few things that are quite masculine that a woman should not do. don't take the lead. Don't try to lead everything. Don't try to boss him around, even humorously. Don't, and you kind of want him to do his part. So, for example, I told my friend, don't gift him expensive stuff. Unless, of course, he's giving you expensive stuff and you kind of are like, both are at the same level. Understandable, right? You guys are just that couple. But if he's broke and you keep giving him things again and again and again and again, he will use you, of course. You know, he will be happy that you're doing all of those things, but will he feel like a man around you? I don't know. I don't think so. I think the balance is just completely out of the window. You are doing the things that he should be doing. And have a really, and unfortunately, no matter who he is, how educated he is or whatever, even Bill Gates cheated on his wife. Woman he cheated with, sorry. Again, like I said, younger than him, you know. Also, not of his status. Melinda Gates she was of his level and she was of his status. They kind of shared the similar status. And I think the girl he cheated on with was an intern. I'm not sure. But I just remember it was not someone like Melinda Gates for sure. Why is that? Like I said, men want someone to just kind of worship them even, you know? And the way to save yourself from this is to simply, one, don't be his mom, even if you think you have to. Two, stop taking the lead in every situation. You don't have to. That's very masculine of you. Three, stop gifting him things, basically showing him your money. Stop doing that. He might be happy for a second, but when he goes home, he's just thinking, damn, I can't buy her this stuff. If you come from money, okay, if you come from a wealthy family and your boyfriend as well, not all that, not the same as you, he will feel proud of you and everything, but he will feel lesser than. And he will go for a girl that you will never even imagine, because you will think, look at me, why would you choose her? Like, I'm obviously, there will be no comparison between you and the girl he would go for. Not to disrespect any girls here, but just to put this out there, this is usually what happens. And the only reason for that is because that girl will look up to him and she will say, oh, you're such a hero. Oh my God, thank you so much for doing this for me. Because maybe if he does the same thing for you, you would just be like, oh, thank you. You wouldn't worship him, because you could just get that yourself, honey. So my suggestion to avoid being cheated on, always date men who are of your level, even better, above you. Only because there is a balance there of respect, love, and everything else, you know. Unfortunately, if you are better than him, there might be a little imbalance, or maybe a lot of imbalance. A lot of things are not said, or maybe not visibly seen or shown. Maybe it's not something you can just read on his face, but he will be feeling those things in his heart. Maybe his family compares him to you. Maybe he never tells you those things. Maybe when you are not there, his friends make fun of him for not being enough, for not being able to actually have you in his life. Even though he has you in his life, they might say, yeah, but you don't deserve her. She will get anyone else. And the other thing is that men will feel threatened. Men will think, oh my God, she doesn't need me. She could get anyone else. So, you know, and that really ruins their perception of self. And it's understandable, but none of her business. I'm not saying that should be the reason why, or that should be the justification for someone betraying anybody. If you are a man watching this and you are a man who feels triggered by your significant other, girl or boy, please leave the relationship. Leave them alone. They don't deserve that. They don't know you feel all of these things. They don't know you have a very small ego. So make sure that you are not just completely forgetting who you are, giving your all, thinking that you can fix it. You can't fix it. You really cannot fix it. If you have already been cheated on, you would know that there's nothing you could do to stop it. There is nothing you could have done differently. You existing was triggering this person. What could you do differently? You literally just being in the relationship, being your best, being the best companion was triggering him. Nothing you could do. It's not about sex, it's not about the attraction, it's not about nothing. It might be in some cases, but most of the time it's simply because a man feels like he's not enough. And that's a huge reason why they start betraying you. Not to say that you should not be at your best in relationships, you absolutely should. But you should just know when you meet someone, and you can know this pretty early, who they are, how do they talk, how do they behave, how do they perceive the world, you know. And if there is an imbalance, don't ignore it. Don't think, maybe I'm just kind of misunderstanding this. You're probably not misunderstanding anything. You're probably right. Anyways, I hope this video was helpful. It's pretty long, but